It's September 27th, 2022, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxel, and this is my fancy shirt for reading the fancy news. Wednesday, Russian President Vladimir Putin warned the West that his threat to use nuclear weapons against Ukraine is not a bluff. Also, to the person who is letting their dog poop on Putin's lawn without picking it up, Putin will take it up with the HOA. That is also not a bluff. Pooping on Putin's lawn, the new single from Sketchworks NewsBrake's own Tim Millard. The coffee helps him poop. North Korea says it has not supplied any military weapons to Russia. No siree. None. Not one. We all trust this guy, right? A few days after this statement, North Korea launched a ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan. That'll show water not to mess with Kim Jong-un. Dr. Anthony Fauci, remember that guy? Who graduated top of his class at the University of Phoenix Medical School, admitted that the COVID school lockdowns had a severe negative impact on childhood development. But, as Kevin Spacey always says, screw the children. The new COVID boosters are open to everyone, and over 4 million Americans have already received them. The newest vaccines target the Omicron variant, but still don't do anything to enhance your 5G reception. Hurricane Ian is getting closer to Florida as of the time I bothered to make this video. Governor Ron DeSantis doesn't plan to order evacuations just yet, but he will lie to you and fly you to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts if he thinks you sound Hispanic. Hurricane Ian is also causing NASA to delay their moon rocket launch. Meanwhile, the U.S. spy satellite launched into orbit from California without a hitch, which means either the weather really is better on the West Coast, or even acts of God can't deter the surveillance state. Stacey Abrams, best known for wishing she was Georgia's governor, claimed that the fetal heartbeat sound was invented by men to control women's bodies. Because we men want nothing more than sex with consequences and 18 years of child support.
I'm Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard with a NewsBrake exclusive. You're not going to believe who I just met. It's him! It's really him! For Sketchworks NewsBrake, I'm Tim Millard.
Who says celebrities never appear on this show? Also, I didn't realize I had the light switch in the frame during the first segment, so I just removed that entire chunk of wall. It took me 4 days, but we're back. When discussing his proposed abortion law, an MSNBC panel mocked that Senator Lindsey Graham has probably never seen a vagina. Lindsey Graham fired back saying, "Oh yeah? Well then what did I see on Mitch McConnell's neck?" Chicago police shot and wounded a man who broke into a training center for the department's SWAT team. A police spokesman says the intruder's actions were unnecessary, since he could have just waited for police to pull him over and shoot him. As many go hungry due to rising food prices, the world's largest produce market in Paris is having a fire sale. No, that's actually bad. Sorry I said that. Research scientists at New York's Columbia University have found teen smoking and drinking have been on the decline for the past decade, but teen cannabis and vape use have increased. The reason we're reporting this is to plug the long-awaited, much-anticipated return to the stage of the Sketchworks comedy Grease parody, Vape the Musical. Hilarity ensues, so get your tickets today. Vape the Musical, October 7th, 8th, 14th, 15th, 21st, and 22nd at the Village Theater in Atlanta. Vape is the word. The gratuitous plug was supposed to come in there at some point. I guess the editor's asleep today. See, I take one with... The National Football League is changing the Pro Bowl into a flag football game and a skills competition for players. The competition includes skills that some former NFL players find valuable, such as defrauding welfare programs in Mississippi and somehow becoming a viable candidate for U.S. Senate despite sounding as smart as a bag of marbles. Icelandic singer Björk says she left the United States because there was too much violence. And Björk knows all about being violent. We here at Sketchworks NewsBrake like to think we're fighting the good fight. So today, upon hearing about some idiot in North Dakota who took a wild raccoon into a bar, presumably to show him off to the other townsfolk, we'd like to be on the right side of justice for once. Friends, this is a public service announcement. If you find a wild raccoon on the side of the road and want to name it Rocky and nurse it back to health, whatever you do, don't take him to a bar to show him off to the locals. They will get jealous and they will call the cops on you for doing the very illegal thing of keeping a wild animal, who will then, sadly, have to put your good boy down. We suggest you at least register your wild raccoons as emotional support cats first. Rest in peace, Rocky. Rest in peace. The U.S. Department of Transportation plans to force airlines to disclose the so-called real price of airline tickets by including extra fees for things like baggage and reservations. We here at Sketchworks NewsBrake encourage the DOT to not do this, because then we'll have no reason to make fun of Spirit Airlines. I'm sure we'll find a reason. A string of sleep-related studies released this week. The Icahn School of Medicine announced getting enough sleep is the key to a healthy immune system, whereas a study published by the Journal of American Geriatric Society, or JAGS, finds going to bed too early or sleeping too much can increase the chance of dementia. And weekly nightmares in middle-aged individuals might be a warning sign of impending dementia. Then, a Harvard University finding finds sleep deprivation can cause deadly inflammation, leading to organ damage. Science, complicating simple things since the 4th century BC. And now I'm sleepy and have organ damage. A man in Salem, Massachusetts was arrested after throwing red paint on a bewitched statue. For his sentence, he'll be burnt at the stake. The CDC warns, and you can believe them, sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea and syphilis are rising at an alarming rate. This warning goes out to anyone who is sexually active. So, not me. Thankfully, though, my 1-year Bumble ban ends on Friday, so wish me luck. However, the CDC may want to rethink their STD warning. Scientists at the Institute of Cancer Research have genetically modified a strain of herpes to act as a cancer-killing agent. The Institute is encouraging cancer patients everywhere to have sex with Pete Davidson. Last week, we brought you the story of a wreck involving thousands of dildos thrown across the highway. This week, Florida sees your dildos and raises you to thousands of cans of Coors Light, which reminds us all not to drive under the influence and has prompted a new slogan for the company, Coors Light, not even once. After making a pact with her friend to kill their families, a 12-year-old girl in Texas shot her dad in the stomach. Middle school is so awkward. Kind of like the end of this show. That's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel. Say hi to your mom for me. She has nice Jags.